If you're pulling in six figures, but lately it feels like you are constantly busy without actually moving forward, I need to show you something. There's a pattern that explains exactly why that's happening, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. In this video, I'll walk you through what's really going on and 3 shifts that'll change everything. Hi, I'm Thea. I'm a CFO, founder, and the creator of the Calm operating system, which helps businesses scale from 6 figures to 7 in a way that feels steady, not stressful. A few years back, I kept seeing the same thing with founders at this exact revenue level. Effort stopped equaling progress and they were burning out. Some were actually questioning whether they even wanted to be in the business anymore. So I dug into it by interviewing hundreds of them and found the main reason this happens. And it's not what you think. I call it the visionary operator battle. It explains why you can have all the ideas, all the drive, all the ambition and still feel completely stuck. It's not a motivation problem. It's not a strategy problem. It's actually about energy and the way your brain works. Let me show you how it works. Everything you build in business moves through a loop. It's driven from the center with your why, the reason you care. That naturally exists in you and you don't have to manufacture it. From there, the what forms, the ideas. Then you move on to the who needs to be involved, your customers, your team, your suppliers. Next comes when and where, the logistics, the timing, the details of how it all fits together. And finally, the how, the doing, the execution, the detailed work that actually brings it all to life. That's the full loop. And for growth to be sustainable, those loops need to constantly close. Here's the challenge, however. Different kinds of energy are needed at each stage of the loop. The first half, the why, the what, and the who, needs visionary energy. It's fast, it's creative, it's possibility driven. That's where most founders thrive. My guess is you are brilliant at this bit. But the second half, the when, where, and the how, needs operator energy. And that's very different. It's slower, it's steadier, it's about detail, consistency, and follow through. When you hit that bit as a natural visionary, it starts to feel really heavy, and any little bump feels massive, and that makes you slow down or even stall completely. But then another idea catches your eye on the top, up in the what zone, and something sparks. You think, oh, I could do something about this. And you feel that bump of energy again because you're craving progress. And there it is, a new idea, a new offer, a new project. So you start that instead. And again, you fly through that first half, but you stall at the same point. And the cycle starts again. Over time, this builds up. You end up with lots of different ideas on the go, lots of open loops, a head that never switches off, and a growing sense that you're not really moving forward. Now, before I go on, here's what I want you to know. This isn't wrong. You're supposed to sit in the visionary seat. You're the fire starter energy in the business. You bring new ideas to life and you keep everything pushing forward. That's your role and no one else can do it like you. But the problem is that you can't hold both seats at once. If you try to, you just end up swinging from one to the other. Now, up to a point in business that's manageable, in the early stages when you're launching and testing and getting things off the ground, you kind of have to bounce between the two. You don't have a choice. But as the business grows, switching between them starts to cost you momentum. You're either launching new ideas that don't get finished, or you're stuck in the operator zone delivering and therefore not driving those new ideas forward. And this gives you a very up and down business that feels way harder to run than it should. At this stage of growth, the key is learning to stay in the visionary zone and support the operator zone without getting trapped in it. That's the heart of everything I teach. Building calm systems that bolster the operator zone and keep businesses moving forward. It's what makes progress go from looking like this, super bumpy and frustrating, to constantly moving up and to the right. Here are 3 simple ways to start bolstering your operator zone today. Number 1, bring in some operator energy. You don't need a full team here or a COO, a detail-minded freelancer, assistant, or a colleague who loves finishing things is enough. Look for people who naturally think in checklists, next steps, and follow through. They'll ground your momentum and make sure that the brilliant ideas you start actually get completed. When you find the right mix of energy, momentum through the loop becomes inevitable. Number 2, use systems that hold the structure. Have a quarterly plan, a project board, a weekly review rhythm, something that keeps track of what's open, what's closed, and what's next. Systems like that become the steady drumbeat underneath your creativity. It means progress isn't dependent on your energy levels or where your attention happens to be that week. Even simple, visible structure creates a sense of calm control, the feeling that everything's moving, even when you step away. And number 3, stay conscious of your open loops. Keep noticing what's unfinished and who's closing it. And before starting something new, ask what still needs to finish first. This awareness shifts you from reaction to intention. It helps you build fewer things at once, but bring more of them to completion, which is what actually creates momentum. When you do this, progress starts to feel less like chaos and more like rhythm. The main thing I want you to take away from this is it's not wrong that you're an idea starter who struggles to get things over the line. You don't need to be both the visionary and the operator. In fact, you shouldn't be at this stage, but you do need to make sure that both are supported. Have some operator energy around you. Make sure your systems hold the detail and stay aware of what's opening and what's closed. That's when progress starts to feel real again in a calm, consistent, and sustainable way. Right now, I want you to take 60 seconds and notice where your open loops are. What's unfinished? What's pulling your attention? What needs to close before you start the next thing? That awareness alone will shift things for you. And if you want to see how the Calm operating system helps founders like you install this structure without losing the creative edge that makes you brilliant, watch the video that I've linked below. In it, I'll show you exactly how that works. Let's get you moving again.